Put your hands
Cool.
like I have my hands.
Sit on them so you don't. That's what
Yeah.
Christ tells you to do.
I don't feel like somebody else is podcasting.
All right. We're good. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, welcome to the Rebuilding Your Podcast, Season 4. Ooh, Lord, episode 15.
16.
16, sure. Episode 16. Christmas break spectacular. We got Ryan and Chris. No Peter this week. He's doing something more important. I don't know what, but he said it's more important than this. So we're going to talk about the Franklin County Credit Union Nashville Bowl. And that's probably going to be it because Purdue basketball folks, they stink. So we're going to talk about that. But first, as always, show is brought to you by, this is an unedited show too. So apologies if it's bad. You can Venmo me you can ask me to Venmo you $1 if you think the show is bad. But the episode is brought to you as always by mybookie.com. Log on to mybookie.com. Use promo code YEAR25 and get direct match on your first deposit up to $1,000 plus 25 free dollars. That's just 1,025 free bucks that's out there waiting for you. All you got to do, mybookie.com, promo code YEAR25. Ryan, you use mybookie.com, right?
Hell yeah, I do.
Do they pay out winners?
Every time.
Can you bet on anything?
Anything you want.
Can you bet on live fantasy as it's happening?
Of course you can. Why couldn't you?
Some websites you can't, but you can on mybookie.com. So log on, use promo code YEAR25. All right, let's just get right into it. We have Purdue Boilermakers versus Auburn Tigers. Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl. Sorry, I messed it up. Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl. This episode is also brought to you by Franklin American Mortgage. So we don't want to disrespect our sponsors, but we got Boilers minus 3.5, I believe.
Yes.
The last line I saw.
I thought it was Auburn minus 4.5.
Oh, Auburn minus 3.5. Auburn minus 3.5. FPI is giving Auburn about a 60% chance to win. I don't know much about Auburn. They're an SEC team. Everybody knows that. Over-under set at 55, so somebody's got to have a good defense. Yeah, Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, Auburn and Purdue are kind of opposite teams. They play good defense with a offense that struggles at times. We have a good offense with a defense that struggles at times. Auburn they're 6-6, and they have beaten all the teams they should beat.
7-5.
7-5. Sorry about that. We're 6-6. They have beat the teams they should have beat, lost the teams they should have lost to, and all those 50-50 games they've kind of split. Whereas Purdue, we've beaten some really good teams, lost some really bad teams.
We did the opposite.
Yeah, so it's an interesting game. These bowl games always comes down to, who actually wants to be there. Because you see teams all the time on paper should be a good matchup, but then when the game gets played, one of the two teams clearly does not want to, be there right now. And that's kind of the feel I'm getting for Auburn. If you go on Twitter and see what's going on in Nashville right now, and I'm reading tweets, it's like, 20-1 Purdue fans to Auburn fans. And I don't really feel like Auburn cares too much about this game. Their fans, the team itself. Whereas Purdue, you can tell this is you would think we're in the playoffs with how much hype there was around this game.
Well, so that's an easy one to explain. You go to Auburn to play for the national championship.
Yeah.
You go to Purdue to play in the Franklin Mortgage Music City Bowl.
Yeah.
That is the exchange right there.
Maybe the Gator Bowl every couple of years when you're really good.
Yeah, but that is what you do at those two schools. And the fans at Auburn, no matter how good they are, they're probably always thinking about SEC championship game, things like that. The Purdue fans are just happy to be 6-6 and be going to another bowl game like they should. Auburn is 3 years removed from being national champions?
They almost won the SEC last year. If they would have won it last year, they would have gone to the playoff.
Yeah, so they played UCF in that Peach Bowl.
Yeah,
it was a great game. But Auburn is a big team, so it doesn't really surprise me that this game is beneath them. But do you think that they won't show up because of that?
I don't want to say don't show up, but I feel like we will show up more.
See, the thing is, though, that they didn't show up to the UCF game last year. And you think they're going to – Gus Malzahn, who's already on a short leash, is going to be making that same mistake this year.
I think it's more just the players' mindset. They're going up to Nashville to play at a 1:30 game outside. We're supposed to be cold and rainy.
Against Purdue.
Against Purdue. Boy. They started off they were like a top 8 team. They beat Washington in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. They had serious national title hopes.
I think I said that they were going to be good, and then they weren't, which is pretty consistent with my picks all year round. But
I mean, I feel like they are a good, top 10 worthy team. Just those top 10 teams, when they lose a game or two, they kind of call a year because they know they can't go to the playoff. I think you saw that happen with Miami, Wisconsin, and Auburn, all those teams. Once you lose 1 or 2 games, they kind of just quit the rest of the year.
I don't know about that. I mean, going from losing 2 games to losing 5 games is a huge difference.
They are much better than Tennessee, who they lost to, and I think that's just because of effort.
I don't know if they're a much better team, but I think that they've regressed tremendously. I don't think Stidham is as good as he.
No, he's not. He's not. He was supposed to be some stud from Baylor and transferred out when the whole thing happened, and he's not great.
He's like a crap. He's what happens if Baker Mayfield or Pat Mahomes isn't good. He's just he's okay quarterback. He's supposed to play this air raid system, but he's just really not that good.
Yep. And I think you guys touched on it earlier, but Purdue being 6-6, this is the best of a bad situation when they went 0-3 at the beginning of the year. So they're playing for a winning season, which, I mean, Auburn has already had a bad year, and their years, like you said, their year's over. They were trying to play for the playoffs, and they just couldn't make it. So I think Purdue's got a lot more to play for.
Yeah, I mean, I think I gotta pick Purdue to at least cover and probably win this game. I mean, I was sort of going into it thinking Auburn was this really good team, but they're disappointing, certainly. And I think Ryan's right. I just don't see Auburn getting up for it as much as players seniors, certainly like David Blau, DJ Knox, some of the linemen, Marcus Bailey. I see those guys getting up for it much more than the Auburn players. So I think I got to pick Purdue to win this one. Right. What's your pick?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Purdue's going to win it also. Auburn doesn't really scare you. Their defense is good, but it's not, elite level Clemson, Alabama, good. And their offense certainly isn't. I think we're better on the offensive side of the ball, and I think they're just slightly better on the defensive side of the ball. So, I mean, I think Purdue gets the job done. It should be a good crowd. I looked it up the last couple of years. This game actually attracts around 50,000 people.
Nashville's a fun town.
It's a fun town, and it's Big Ten SEC, and most Big Ten schools can get to Nashville in 4-hour drive. And same with a lot of the SEC schools. I think both Auburn and Purdue are around 5 hours. So it's a pretty easy, commute for those two conferences. But, yeah, I mean, it should be around 50,000 people. I mean, according to Twitter, it sounds like it's going to be heavily Purdue. So, I mean, I think it should be a good game. I think the Boilers will win. I'm just not scared of Auburn. I think this is a great game to play because you get to, beat Auburn, which, sounds really cool and helps with recruiting, helps momentum, helps all that stuff, even though they're only 6-6 or 7-5.
Yeah, beating Auburn, that would be huge. That would be big for the brand. Chris, your pick.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go Purdue here because, I mean, if both teams play an average game, Auburn's going to win every game. But I think that Purdue's going to get up for it way more than Auburn will. And when Purdue plays to that level, we've seen them beat Ohio State. We've seen them beat ranked teams. And they could easily just blow the doors off this team if they wanted to, if the offense clicks, which I think it will. Based on they've had a lot of time to prepare. Jeff Brom's going to throw all the trick plays that he can at this one. So I think it's going to be a good game to watch, and I think Purdue should easily be able to win this one.
Now, if Purdue loses this game, finish with a losing record, does that sour the season? I mean, the season's bright spots have sort of been beating Ohio State, beating Iowa. Or is it just kind of we lost to Auburn. You were going to expect that. What does a loss, I guess, mean for the season, right?
Not much. I mean, I think Jordan Curry literally posted an article an hour ago because I didn't click it yet. I was going to read it, saying how and I kind of agree with it, how a loss, doesn't mean much. You lose to a good Auburn team, and like I said, Auburn, they're a lot better than the record indicates. There's probably, I personally think, a couple games, maybe they didn't show up. But I think it's more if you win, all the momentum you build off a win. But yeah, losing the game, I don't think it does much. Everybody knows that we have a lot coming back next year. The top 25 recruiting class coming next year. Everybody's kind of, I think next year we'll be fine whether we lose or not.
Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I think it matters differently to different groups of Purdue fans. Like the Steve Purdue fans will be like, oh, well, they didn't have a winning record, so the season was kind of a loss.
Yes.
But, I mean, there's other people who are like, all right, well, we beat Ohio State.
Winning games.
We beat these good teams. We have young players to work with. We've got a good recruiting class in this year. So I don't think it's that big of a loss because we got a lot of guys because we played some flashy games. We got a lot of recruits because of that and because we have Jeff Brom sticking around. So I think if you play that into it, it isn't a losing season. And nationally, nobody gives a shit what Purdue's final record is. They matter that we blew the doors off Ohio State.
Do you think if Purdue wins this game, they could go into next season either receiving or top 25 team?
I think they will win or lose. I think they can receive votes.
Were they ever? They were receiving at one point this year, yes?
Yeah, they received. I think we got our doors blown by Minnesota, and then Minnesota just don't talk about that game.
Mm-hmm.
But if they win or lose, I think we receive votes. I think people see our whole defense is coming back. We have a lot of the offense coming back. We have a lot of studs coming in who can play and contribute immediately. So I think we'll receive votes. It might not be that many. It might be like one or two. But that still counts.
Elijah Sindelar, man.
I have actually high hopes for him next year.
Oof.
I think him with no Blau around and him just working with Brom all offseason, just him. I think.
Well, you've got Plummer and Sippy or Sipe.
Sippy.
Well, we've talked about Plummer. I think we've came to the conclusion that he's not good.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think you would have heard. You would have heard something about him.
You would hear the gossip like you did with Trevor Lawrence and you did with Tua. Like, hey, there's this kid that's really, really good, and he's behind Sippy on the depth chart. So,
and you don't hear anything about Sippy either. And maybe that's because David Blau has been good this year. I mean, the line on David Blau from us has always been he's a good college quarterback. I think he'll probably, maybe he'll get an NFL workout. Maybe he'll make someone's practice squad, but you really haven't heard too much about those two guys.
Austin Appleby made a practice squad, so Blau can make one.
Yeah, I think Blau can make one. And it's Davy Blau's last game, so you got to think that he's going to try to go all out for it. So we'll see how that goes, and we have a whole offseason to think about Elijah Sindelar and his one eye black running this offense, which he can do. I agree with Ryan that I think once Blau's gone and it's sort of his show, I think he'll be better for that, certainly.
And the team will be better in general, so he'll have
he'll have targets. He'll have Moore. He'll have Milton Wright. David Bell would be a stunner if he didn't commit. He'll have David Bell. He's going to have pieces.
He is going to have pieces. All right, so that is the American Mortgage Bowl. When you listen to this, it's today at 1:30 p.m. Call off work if you're working like a sucker the week between Christmas and New Year's. But call off work, start your New Year's Eve weekend. Great weekend of football. Since Peter's not here, we should just pick bowl games. We should just pick the big bowl games until till the champion. Well, the championship's on Saturday, right? The playoffs are on Saturday.
The playoffs start Saturday, yeah.
Yeah. So we can maybe talk about those a little bit while Ryan's looking up that so we can fill some time. Purdue basketball, folks, they're bad. That's my take. Chris, what's your take?
They're not fun to watch.
They aren't fun to watch. Like, you'd think a team with so many young guys and Carson Edwards to boot would at least be like fun to watch. They are not fun. It's
like watching Purdue football. Like when they were losing, it kind of sucked, but they were still fun to watch. Like every game,
all those games were close.
Yeah, but Purdue is just bad and not fun. And Harm stinks, and Nogel has taken a step back. It's really just the Carson show, and when you've got one guy, basketball's not fun.
Harm should have quit after the whole Harm's hair thing during the NCAA tournament last year. He should have just hung him up.
Yep.
That's it. Ryan, Purdue basketball, do they stink?
So I was leading towards we weren't that good this year, and I remember when they stunk years ago. Not years, like 5 years ago. and we would struggle against teams like Robert Morris and all those people. And we're blowing them out this year somehow still. And I looked at it, and we're 7-5, which isn't great. 3 of those are the top 10 teams away from home. We lost to Michigan on Michigan, Florida State on Florida State, and Virginia Tech on a neutral, and they're all 3 top 10 teams. And I don't know if last year's Purdue team would have won all those 3 games. And then you lose to.
Well, they would have lost some of them.
Then you lose at Texas, okay, and then Notre Dame's like 10-3. They had that one bad loss.
That is a game that Purdue teams in the past could have won. That team was not that good.
No, we struggle against Notre Dame a lot. They do struggle in the Crossroads Classic. So it's 7-5, and you want to win some of those games. But when you really look at it, how many of those games show they actually won? 1, 2 of them?
You just keep comparing it to old teams, and it's like, yeah, last year's team probably would have won 2 out of 3 of those.
Last year's team was a 2 seed.
Yeah, well, this team is on their way to being a not seed.
So Ken Palm right now has Purdue at 20 still, and it is all like the teams that surround Purdue are like 11-1, 12-1, and it's Purdue at 7-5, and people still like Purdue. The analytics still think they're a good team. They realize that they have 5 good losses. Like when you pull up the resume at the end of the year and look at the bad losses chart, nothing's popping up. It's going to be bad losses, nothing. Good wins right now. I think it's just Maryland, and I think Davidson's technically a good win.
Maybe. So here is Purdue's stretch. This is the make or break stretch.
Belmont's good too.
Belmont's good. Iowa's 24th. Michigan State's 8th at Michigan State, at number 15 Wisconsin, versus Rutgers, versus number 23 Indiana, at number 13 Ohio State, versus number 8 Michigan State.
The Big Ten. The Big Ten. There's no elite. Because Michigan's elite. Besides Michigan, there's no elite team, but every team is just
Michigan State's 8th.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen them only play once, and they don't look that good. But I guess they are 8th. But you just have a ton of teams in the teens, like Iowa. Oh, not teens, yes, but you have a ton of teams that are ranked, and it's going to be brutal.
I think they're going to get.
This is the same thing we said at the beginning of the year. We've got a lot of good basketball teams, the Big Ten, and Purdue's just not one of them.
I think we have a lot of. I
think Purdue is better than bad. Like what we said, they're all right, but they're not going to win these games against ranked teams. It's just not
like last year's Purdue team benefited so much playing in the down Big Ten. And this year's Purdue team is nowhere near as last year's Purdue team, but the Big Ten is so much better. And their record is going to be like 10-10, maybe 9. Like if they went 9-11, they'd have to beat a ton of ranked teams.
They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games against unranked teams in the Big Ten.
Against unranked teams?
Those are the unranked, and Maryland is in there. Minnesota.
They have to play at Penn State because Purdue's not winning at Penn State.
At Penn State on the 31st of January.
So
it is a 7 p.m. start. Normally that game starts at about 8 in the morning.
Yeah, that game sucks. Minnesota apparently is supposed to be pretty good this year too. They were like top 10 last year and some injuries. And the one guy, got kicked off, but all those guys are injured or back now. And apparently they're supposed to be looking really good. It's going to be a tough year.
It is. Do they, as they stand right now, I guess we'll keep posing this question throughout the season, are they making the NCAA tournament? I say no.
No, but I think they will make a run in the NIT.
Oh.
No, they won't show up for that.
No, I think they get a lot of young guys. I think they will. And they're playing talent that they can beat in that kind of tournament.
I think it's going to be one of those things where we're on the bubble come Sunday, and we only have like 20 wins. But when they pull up the resume, there's not really any bad losses, and there's like 5 or 6 good wins in I'll say play-in game.
Ooh.
Which that'd be kind of fun.
On Tuesday, that would be fun.
Tuesday, Dayton, Ohio.
Going down to Dayton. I'd drive down to Dayton for a play-in game on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's only like an hour and 50 from me.
Yeah, it's not far. That would be fun. Play-in game. I like that idea.
That's my pick.
Yeah, okay. All right, so moving on. Let's talk about college football playoffs and big bowl games. Ryan, what do you got? This is unofficial. This is just between the three of us, obviously.
Of course.
But I want to talk about them. I want to speak on them.
So we have Notre Dame, Clemson at 4, Bama, Oklahoma at 8, Notre Dame Clemson playing at the Cotton Bowl, which is why I think that game got canceled the other day because they need the field. It's Clemson minus 13, which it sounded big to me, and that was a good prediction. I had it Clemson 38, Notre Dame 24, so I was like, shit, it's actually pretty accurate. But what do you guys think?
Clemson minus 13.
Let's go 13.
I haven't seen
I hate even
Clemson play
numbers
at all this year, but I mean, they just ran through the ACC. So did Notre Dame, kind of, though. They play a lot of ACC teams.
Yeah, they play 5 ACC teams.
I don't know. You can't go against Clemson. They're so good. So good.
Pick a cover though.
Ooh, no. I don't think they're going to cover that. They can't cover that.
Chris?
Not in the college football playoff. Those are mostly close games, right? Except for the Michigan State-Alabama game that one year.
I mean, didn't Clemson beat Ohio State like 31-0 like 2 years ago?
That was in the Fiesta Bowl, I thought.
No, that was
Notre Dame did get blown out in the playoff or the.
Well, that was the national championship game that they shouldn't even been in against.
Steve, it was like last year where Clemson beat Ohio State like 31-0, like played Alabama in the playoff in the finals, and Alabama kicked the crap out of them.
Maybe
Kelly Bryant.
That was last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, 2 years ago. Hell, I don't know, man.
Who did Alabama play last year?
They played Georgia, so it would have been them. I think Alabama.
Georgia and.
It was 2 years ago.
Georgia and Oklahoma played that great game at the Rose Bowl.
I don't know, dude. I quit.
Okay. I think Clemson wins, but I don't think they cover that.
Chris.
I mean, I got to agree with Steve here. It's 13.5 points. I mean, this is a playoff game. It should be close. That's what they pay to have. They don't want to see Clemson blow out Notre Dame, so that's not going to happen.
Because they don't want that to happen? What? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They don't want it to happen, so it's not going to happen.
I think Clemson wins the whole thing this year. So I do think Clemson covers. I'm pretty sure their whole D-line is supposed to be a first-round draft pick. Like all 4 of them will go in the top 32. But I guess the one gets suspended for some kind of thing he took. They don't know.
Oh, yeah, Dexter Lawrence. I love the 3 of those guys got suspended.
Well, two of them
like, I don't know how it happened. I'm like, yeah, you do. Everybody does.
2 of them don't play. And I guess apparently Dexter Lawrence's backup is like a 5th-year senior who plays 40 snaps a game, is also like a draft pick. So they don't really – whatever. I think Clemson covers. I think that means 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns can happen like that in football. And I think they get it done.
All right, well, here's how it is. Clemson was almost lost to Syracuse, and Notre Dame beat the shit out of them. So that's what I'm going on with.
Whoa, Chris, are you talking about the game where Clemson's quarterback got hurt and they were playing their third stringer?
Yes.
And then
I am talking about that game.
And then the game versus Syracuse and Notre Dame where Syracuse's quarterback got hurt and Notre Dame got to play the backup instead?
Well, yeah, obviously. It doesn't have to make sense. All right, Ryan? Why you call me out like that on my own show?
That is
your show.
You haven't been on the show in a while, Ryan.
I missed 1 week.
We've changed the show so much since you've been on here. Just wait.
Yeah. You're not getting that sweet mybookie.com money.
And then I don't see. I guess bigger game. I guess I don't know. Maybe it's not the bigger game, but Oklahoma, Alabama, 8 p.m. Miami. Let me pull up the spread real quick. We are looking at Bama. Bama's minus 14.5 also.
No way. I think I kind of like Oklahoma. I don't know if I like them to win because Bama's so good, but I mean, Bama had a tough game against Georgia. You know what? I'll say it. I think Oklahoma wins. I think Oklahoma's going to the college football playoff or the national championship, whatever we're calling it now.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, I think, he had a game or he had a season, and I think they're going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards them winning, especially Tua just had like ankle surgery like 3 weeks ago.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is still great, but
he's a national championship winning quarterback.
Yes,
I think he's all right.
Well, I mean, he did win a national championship.
He did. I think you put him on a team with. I think you put him on a team with an average defense, that team isn't great.
No Bama
Right, well,
quarterback has ever translated to professional success.
But also, Alabama's Alabama, so you don't need that.
No, you don't. But anyways,
I have not shitty quarterback. And he's
I need a
not a
running
shitty
back
quarterback.
with dreads, a really tall wide receiver, and a really good defense.
I think you need a running back. You need a running back.
I already said the running back with dreads.
Oh, I thought you said I don't know what I thought you said. Never mind.
Okay.
But no, yeah, I think Tua's banged up, had that ankle surgery. I think Oklahoma's really, really good. I think they can cover 14.5. Chris?
Yep. I think Oklahoma is really good. And the only team that, other than LSU, that Alabama's played is Georgia. And they didn't look like the team that blows everyone out. So I think that Oklahoma sure definitely has a chance to win this one. I don't think they will, but they'll at least cover.
I think that's definitely the more exciting game. I just kind of sleep on Notre Dame. That could be a great game, but I think that I think Oklahoma, that offense, that's gonna be a good show. This could be a game that Alabama doesn't see themselves in very often.
They said something the other day that where two Heisman people play, and the loser's team typically wins just because they rally around their quarterback losing to the other guy, and there's a whole thing. And I was like, shit.
All right, but one of those teams is Alabama, so I think they'll be ready for it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, but and then those are two playoff games, but we do 3 games now. So basketball, Kentucky, Louisville.
Oh,
big time rivalry down there. It is at Louisville. Kentucky's definitely the better team this year, but the spread's a pick 'em.
really?
So, Chris, we will start with you. Pick one.
Kentucky. I don't know. I haven't watched a ton of basketball. Purdue has made me just hate college basketball.
Yes,
so
that is true. When Purdue is not good, I don't watch college basketball.
So Kentucky.
So, Steve.
Let me take a big sip of Maker's Mark here.
Ooh.
Is that also a sponsor of the podcast?
In the spirit of Kentucky, what's my Maker's Mark saying? Louisville upset, baby. Louisville upsets.
Really an upset for the spreads even?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. I'm also going Louisville. They are phenomenal in the Yum Center. They never lose there. I think Kentucky's overrated.
Although Purdue fans will say the Yum Center has an awful atmosphere.
Yeah,
from the ACC Big Ten Challenge, oh, this place sucks. Mackey Arena, number 1.
It's supposed to be one of the best college atmospheres there is, and Purdue fans think I don't know, it makes no sense. But yeah, there we have it. That's because it's good. Because the other 2 basketball games were Nevada, Utah, and Wisconsin, Western Kentucky. There wasn't much.
Who played in the Rose Bowl this year?
Washington, Ohio State.
I'm not picking that game because we picked Washington games all year long. So, not
we
picking.
We pick the Apple Cup every week.
Every single week we picked. I would like you to go back, Ryan, and see if there's a week we did not pick a game featuring Washington, Washington State, or Oregon.
And Stanford.
Those teams were in there. Those were the Tennessees of this year.
The Pacific Northwest.
Yes, the Pacific Northwest. Well, folks, the year is almost over, so we got to say, favorite Purdue moment from calendar year 2018. That includes basketball last year and football this year. Favorite moment, Ryan.
You think basketball, we were a 2 seed and 30 wins, but there wasn't a single great moment. All the big moments, we lost on buzzer beaters. And then, we lost in the Big Ten championship game. We lost Isaac Haas. So, there's nothing there. I was at the Ohio State games. It's that Ohio State game by a landslide for me.
Were they in the Big Ten championship for basketball last year?
Yeah, they lost to Michigan.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. They lost to Michigan.
Because we beat Michigan twice. They played them the third time. And the third time, they were clicking. They beat us by 10.
That's right. Chris.
All right. So in the March Madness last March, when I went to the Purdue game, so buying tickets to the next game right before the Purdue game started, then immediately selling them after Purdue lost. So we made a $25 profit in the span of 2 hours. So that was pretty good. All right, we're gonna win this game, and we're gonna go to the next one, and then someone coming up to us right after, be like, "Oh, hey, you guys got tickets?" Like, "Yep." He's like, "I'll buy them." I was like, "All right."
I gotta say, basketball doesn't really have there's no defining moment. Like Rice said, Dakota Mathias had a big 3 against Butler. The Crossroads Classic was a lot of fun, but that was in 2017.
Oh, it's a good moment? When Jeff Brom decided to stay and everyone put the "I'm not fucking leaving" like gifts on, and people are like, don't compare him to that guy.
Purdue Twitter is my moment of the year. Just always. They're always just having a good one, having a normal one online. Just loving every day. The Ohio State game got to be for me. Just being in a bar full of Ohio State fans, and then made it even sweeter that we literally ruined their season. Like, Ohio State is not in the college football playoff because they lost to Purdue.
The coach retired because of the game.
Which I look at as a sign of pride, not as a sign of Purdue stinks. I think that's a sign of pride.
Yes.
I remember leaving that game, Ohio State, fans were like, wait till next year. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Like, this is good enough for us.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't care about next year. We don't even play them next year.
We don't. I mean, he might say, wait till you come to Ohio State. He's like, dude, you don't understand. We'll get
killed.
This is our peak. This is our
I got to enjoy it in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't care that if they played again right now, it doesn't matter.
Well, that was the other thing, was that Purdue fans were like, dude, we could get to the Big Ten championship, then we get to play Ohio State again.
So I don't want it.
I was like, you don't want to do that. We got him once. That's good. Get out while you still can. Oh, good times. Happy 2018. Happy 2019, everybody. This is our last pod of the year 2018.
See you next year, guys.
What a year it's been. You know? A good year for was it a good year for Purdue? How would you rate Purdue's year on a grade scale?
I mean, it's got to be from athletic perspective. I can't talk today.
Yes.
From an athletic perspective. You can't talk most days.
I mean, basketball was obviously great. I mean, obviously we lost, but I do think a big chunk of that's losing Isaac Haas. And then, football, we kept Jeff Braun. Baseball was good. I mean, it was a pretty high year for Purdue athletics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Volleyball made the tournament.
Grade.
A-.
Wow. Chris.
I don't know. They passed. As the pass-fail class, they passed.
Okay.
I'm saying B-.
They're auditing this year.
B-. You got to leave room for improvement. A-. What is that? If they win 2 more football games next year, that's an A+.
See, that's the thing.
Ryan doesn't think they're ever going to win a national championship.
We are Purdue fans, so our ceiling is not very high. So
you don't give yourself an A because you hit the ceiling. Your ceiling is like a B+.
If I took advanced calculus, my ceiling would be a C. Like, that would be the best possible outcome.
You don't give yourself an A because you're like, oh, I got a C in advanced calculus. I give myself an A.
No, you got a C.
Yeah.
Fine. B+. They get a B+.
B+. Okay. Ryan's taking him down. He's bumping him down. He went back to the transcript. Looks like they missed another class.
Yeah.
That he didn't see before.
They forgot some homework one week.
Yeah.
But
they got bad
I
peer
think they got
they
had like half of their students over a 3.0 GPA on the football team. I mean, that's a pretty solid year.
Well, that should be national champions. You should
be celebrated.
Play in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
I bet
you should multiply wins by grade point average of the team.
You know what we need to develop is like a Purdue matrix for success, where you take like wins times GPA, and that is your true like ranking.
The true win percentage.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever.
But then how do you? But all these other schools, they grade inflate and stuff like that. How do you take that into account?
Well, then you have to, you have to make it, more advanced, and you have to work out that Purdue is the hardest school in the country to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So we get, an automatic, whatever you call that, not seeding, but automatically it impacts us more. So you take the grades of Purdue, you add another 0 onto that.
Okay. Yeah, I like where your head's at. We'll workshop it.
It's weighted. That's what I was trying to say. It's weighted towards Purdue. And everybody that's good at football, you subtract 100 automatically from whatever their final score is. Yeah. Well, that would be the other part of the matrix, would be teams that have a better record than Purdue get subtracted per win that they're better than Purdue. You have to get everybody on an even playing field.
Yes.
To make it truly count. So like Alabama, they're 12-0. They would get subtracted 60 points. And then the teams worse than us don't get anything. That's just we're better than those teams. So
yes.
That is the Purdue matrix for athletic success. Wins.
Somebody write that down.
Wins times grade point average minus more victories than Purdue. And that's how you figure it out. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, folks. That was the Rebuilding Your Podcast, Season 4, Episode 16, Sweet 16. We'll be back in 2019. That's fun to say, right? It's 4 days away. Yeah.
27, 5, 4, 4.5.
4.
Like
4
that
days
time.
away.
Time doesn't
4
exist
days and like 4 hours
in this week. As soon as I get to tomorrow at 1:30, it's basically New Year's Eve already.
I don't have work until the 2nd, so
yeah, it's over with. So we'll see you in 2019, folks, to talk about Purdue basketball. For whatever, we're going to talk about that play-in game more. But you can find us on Twitter. Ryan's at Rye Guys and Fries, or Ryan M. Hire. Ryan M. Hire. Right. Ryan N. Hire. Chris is at Boston Boiler. I'm at Steve Greco 001. Peter is at Peter_Mick. And without anything else, Boilers by 90. And wait till next year. Kev, Venmo me.